Okay, so we have the rear axle here for the 67 Camaro. It's a 10 bolt, 8.2 inch GM axle. We've got the first step here is to remove these 10 bolts that hold the cover on. So I've started to remove them. I'm going to go ahead and take those out now. Finished taking these bolts out, and we've got a drain pan here below the axle. Got it set up on my axle jig. Once the cover's removed, we will see all the fluid come out. Bolts that hold the cover on have a 1/2 inch head. So there we go. Just pop this cover off. Sometimes you need to use a screwdriver. We have right here. You just slowly work it around. Cover. It lets loose. Fluid starts coming out. We've got this brake line T here. It's holding us up a little bit. Just want to be careful. Let it go slow. The fluid in this is pretty clean. I think this was just recently rebuilt, or at least the fluid changed, based on the RTV gasket seal that we have here. Okay, so take all this old gasket off. Okay, so they used the gasket and the blue RTV to seal it the last time. We will clean all this thoroughly before we put it back together. So now what we have here is the ring gear, and then the pinion is in the front, attached to the yoke. So what we have to do now is this pin right here. We're going to take this bolt out and remove that pin. So that's what we're going to do. That'll allow us to slide our axles out. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay. Everything spins freely for now. So, what we're going to have to do, we got the front of the axle sitting on this jig, so in order to turn it, we've got to Alright, that's where I want it. Now just take this bolt out. Now this bolt has a 7/16 head, I believe. Nope, 1/2 inch head. And we're not going to be able to use a ratchet, so we're going to have to get a wrench. Take that off. Alright, so we're back. We're going to take this pin out. We've got a wrench here. Sometimes these are tricky. Oh, maybe we're going to get another wrench. Okay, we're back. We've got two different size ends on these boxes. The conventional wrench is actually thinner. And if I recall, and I'm right, it fits right on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead here and put the bar in, use that as leverage to back that out. That's working just fine. Now all this is going to be replaced, which is fine. These bolts give me a little bit of trouble coming out. I don't really like how it feels. It's kind of tight. These bolts aren't typically this tight. Previous mechanic may have put some Loctite on this. It's not to say they come out freely without any issue. It's just that this particular one seems to be more difficult than others. Slipped off of that. So what we're going to do is start using the ratcheting wrench. I don't know what we did before we had these things. So we've got to turn the axle just a touch. Well, there comes the pin right there. There's the pin. There's the center pin. That's what that is. So we'll just set that right here. And then we've got to turn this axle. That's not going to look better. Okay, let's go backwards then. I don't remember having this difficulty in the past, taking that bolt out. But nonetheless. Okay, we'll just leave that bolt in there for now. She doesn't want to come out. That'll be fine. So, that's interesting too. Alright. I'm going to pop the yoke off in the front now. See if it wants to come. See if it wants to come off. So what we have up here is a pinion nut. It's hard to see, but it's right there. Find the right socket for the job. And it's going to be a pretty big one, so. Now we'll have to see which one of these it's going to be. That's where it's really nice to have air tools. Now that's the largest one is 1 1/16", and that does not seem to be it. So So let's try 1 1/8. And that's it, it's 1 1/8. So tap it down, make sure it's in. Use the impact gun. Set it reverse. But we need air before that'll work. So let's try this. And that's right off of there. That spun right off. So now it's a matter of will that, there's a spider gear to come out, that's no problem, we're not going to reuse that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to let the rear axle float down, and we're going to see if we can drive the pinion shaft, or the yoke off of the pinion shaft. Now we've got our dead blow hammer here. We're going to tap it here to begin with. Some taps. Make sure she understands it's going to come off. Alright, so just slide this backwards. Alright, so we'll move the tray out of there. Alright, so now let's see if we can't just convince it to come down. We'll be replacing these bolts, so I'm not really worried about that. There it is. It's the pinion shaft. The yoke's off it. We're good to go now. We will reassemble this just so we don't lose any pieces. That's how that comes off. To go back on, it slides on. And what we have to do is tighten the pinion nut to some ungodly torque number, and it just goes back together. Presses this back on. Alright, so putting this back together, which is good. Now we'll rotate this back up. We'll grab the gun again. We'll take our main bearing caps off, and that will release the carrier. Okay, so now we will put our drain pan back underneath it here. Catch that drip. Okay. So now we're going to take these main bearing caps off, right here, 2, 3, 4. That'll be the whole center section here. So we've got our impact sockets, so we'll find out which size that is. I think it's going to be 5/8, which we don't have on this impact set. We'll have to. Yes, 5/8 is the size. So we'll improvise. Just pop these. All right, that's the main bearing caps. Just unthread them. Unthread them. Pop this caps. And well, before we do that, let's take the axles out. So, I think, okay. All right, there's one axle, it's out. The C-clips in them, so we're gonna slide the axles out. All right, there's one axle. There's a second axle. Both bearing surfaces look okay on the axles, so we don't have anything to worry about there. We'll just give these a tap, and they'll be ready to come out of there. There's one bearing cap. There's another bearing cap. And we take our big screwdriver, and we will simply. Well, there's the pinion bolt. Goes through the cross shaft. We've got that now. So there's our bearing cap, our 4 screws, and get our C-clips out of here if they'll come. One C-clip. Cannot find the other C-clip. We'll find it eventually. It's in there. Okay, so now we just have to take the center section out. Doesn't want to come out of there. So we'll tap it. It should come out. would be a lot more general if we were going to put this back in. It's not going to go back in, so. The other thing we can do to get this out is tilt the axle up like this, straight up and down. Pound that pinion down, and it'll pound against this. It will do what we need it to do. Again, if you're going to reuse this stuff, this is certainly not how you're going to want to do this. So, we're not going to reuse it, so. Alright. So, it's almost loose. Almost. It's all loose. Well, another spider gear. Oh, this thing is in there tight. Well, let's hammer on a little more. Compressor's running, but what we have here okay, this gear, it says 1237 on the pinion, so that means it's got 12 gears on the pinion and 37 gears on the ring gear. So what we have left here to do is we've got to pound out this race right here. We've got to pound out this bearing, which is basically loose already. And then on the inside of the axle shafts, what we have here, we've got a seal and a bearing here we'll have to take out. And that's it. That's how you tear apart the rear axle. Thanks.